Endless Ocean in Update 33.0 Melon Playground. Hello everyone, dear friends, you are on the channel Melonfonk. In this video, we with you will talk about Update 33.0 and the Endless Ocean. Well, don't forget to subscribe and put a like, and also write your cool comment. Well, I won't take more of your time today. Enjoy watching. Well, friends, Update 33.0 is already close, and the developers tell us more and more secrets. What will be in this update? Well, about everything in order. Well, and first of all, I would like to tell that the developers will add live fish. These fish will interact with us closely. That is, they will swim through the ocean, they can be touched, they can be taken out, and they will react to NPCs. Well, and possibly they will be as animation on the background. About this, the developers themselves stated, and this is very cool. Very interesting how this will affect the optimization of the game, because the more objects, especially animated and saturated with artificial intelligence, the harder it is to optimize within one game. All the more for a weak engine, this is an even more difficult task. Well, and as for me, NPCs and artificial intelligence as fish, this is very interesting. I would very much like to look at this. What do you think about this? Write in the comments. Also, besides this, the developers will add fishing in Melon Playground. Our NPCs will be able to take a fishing rod in hands and, as a minigame, catch a couple 3 fish. This will be very interesting. Possibly they will be as daily quests. Most likely there will be some very rare fish for which we even will be able to earn Mels. It would be very interesting to look at this. I very much wait for the release of the Endless Ocean. And I think that the renders which you see right now on your screen tell you that you also very much want to look at what we will have in the game in the future. The next thing that will be added in Melon Playground is monsters, which will really appear very rarely in the Endless Ocean and which will kill our NPCs. Possibly they will protect some secret objects like secret laboratories, and possibly even will attack some objects in the form of transport, which also will appear in Melon Playground with the release of the Endless Ocean. Monsters vary. As for me, Cooley will influence the audience because we all love fear. Fear is a very strong emotion, and sometimes we want to feel it, at least artificially, so to say, to touch. And as for me, this still will add mystery, secrecy, and this in general simply ideally will influence the audience. And we all will simply search for some strange, scary monsters, try to resist them, try to destroy them, and all in this spirit. Very cool would be the addition. More precisely, not would be, it exactly will be. By the way, about the release dates, I will tell you all at the end of the video, so watch this video to the end. And as for me, monsters in general simply ideally will influence the audience of Melon Playground. What do you think about this? Of course, write in the comments. Well, and let's go, guys, further. Also, the developers will add various underwater laboratories, underwater secrets, various treasures, and so on. Very cool that the developers are going to add something like this. Possibly we will even be able to enter them if we enter some code or so on, and this would be also very great. I now on Xbox am playing the game Autumn Fall, and there every object is like a separate location, like a separate world. For example, you enter some bunker and you already separately play in this bunker. That is, we from the map could get into another map. This would be very cool and would be very great. What do you think about this? Of course, write in the comments. As for me, a very cool idea. Also, new transport will appear. One of them already the developers announced. This is various submarines and ships. They exactly will appear in the game. I think that even not ships, but boats, which were very long ago in one of the votings. Therefore, the submarine exactly will appear, and possibly a boat will appear. Very would be nice to look at this. Cool would be additions, because new transport for a long time was not in the game. And finally, the developers will add something like this in Melon Playground. Also, the developers are going to add new water physics. That is, now we will have appearing airspace underwater when you create some underwater structures. And will be changed completely the physics to what we approximately see in Fruit Playground. However, there it is realized simply awfully. I, naturally, there tried it. But it really there simply even a little cringe. I think that the developers of Melon Playground understand this and never will allow that such a cool idea so carelessly will be realized. I think that the developers will do everything as needed, and therefore the water physics will pleasantly please us. I hope they will add some underwater current, will add underwater various whirlwinds, hurricanes, possibly tsunamis. And on the water, also on the surface of the water, we will have other behavior. And I hope that still some plane and surface above will be left for us, because it will be very sad if we all the time in the endless ocean will spend strictly underwater. As for me, it would be great if appeared occasionally some above islands, various volcanoes, and so on and so forth. But this would be simply much cooler. That is, a likeness of land, of continents, after all, on the endless ocean, I would see. I would like more
some kind of cutscene like it was with the secret green laboratory, which in the end transferred all into the green gene. And this really is lacking. Already this was not more than 1.5 years. The secret box is such a half Easter egg. Would like, of course, more, and I hope that the developers will add something like this. And they promised that they will add this, and this exactly will appear in the game, but a little later. And that means the new achievement will not make itself wait. Now, already for a long time, there were no achievements. The last achievement was again in the spring of this year. It passed more than 6 months, and this is simply a huge term for the game, and the new achievement really will please. What do you say about the dates? The dates all in reality are very positive. The developers promise us the endless ocean in November of this year, somewhere in the middle. And that means already through a month will come out the endless ocean, and we all very much wait for the release of this update. This is simply wonderful news as for me. Write in the comments what you think about this. Well, and we wait of course also a couple updates before the release of the endless ocean. This of course is 32.5, naturally, which most likely will appear on the Halloween update.
This already at the end of this month, and maybe even earlier, as usually this happens. Events come out a little earlier than the holidays themselves. Somewhere, I think the 25th, maybe the 20th of October. It is worth to expect the release of 32.5, exactly some kind of Halloween event, which also is very cool. What do you think about this? Write in the comments. It was very interesting for me to talk with you on the theme of the endless ocean, to reflect a little, to make for you interesting works for the background. Well, and this my video is coming to the end. Thanks everyone for watching. Good luck to everyone. Bye to everyone. And remember, buddy, as always, we will see each other in the coming days.